Hey guys, it's Katie. I've got something a little different for you today. I'm going to be showing you some of my games, and in particular today I'm going to be showing you my DS games, starting off with Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training. How old is your brain? I love anything like this. I love brain teasers and Sudokus, and I just find them really cool to do, and I like to challenge myself and try to do it quicker each time, but at the same time I get really frustrated when I can't do it as quick as I want to. But I absolutely love this game. I think it's really good, and it's also training your brain at the same time, so win-win, I say. Professor Layton and the Curious Village. This is another one like the brain training that actually uses your brain to actually solve different puzzles, as it isn't as easy as you'd think. I mean, kids can play this game, but it's actually really taxing, and you have to go through the story, solving puzzles to unlock different things, and I think it's fantastic, and I think the idea of solving puzzles alongside an actual storyline is brilliant, and I just absolutely love it so much. It's just taxing and it makes you think, and it's little puzzles. I love it. The World Ends With You. This is a role-playing game, and I think this is absolutely fantastic. It makes full use of the trackpad on the DS, as you're having to use it in different ways, like pinpointing it, slashing it to actually attack your enemies, and I feel as though this is one of those games that has fully utilised the whole of the DS, because you have to blow into the little sensor, you have to use the trackpad, and the animations actually travel across both of the screens, and I think that this style and this whole story is absolutely fantastic. And seriously, if you're into role-playing games, I really recommend this one, because it is absolutely brilliant and it's just so good. The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Again, like The World Ends With You, this fully utilises the whole of the DS, with the blowing to the actual tapping, and I think that it's absolutely fantastic. It's one of those games that everybody has to play. I mean, everyone's heard of Zelda. Come on. If you haven't, then you are clearly living under a rock somewhere on Mars. To be honest, this is the first Zelda game that I've actually owned / played. Don't judge me. But I just think it's wonderful. It's just so cheery and colourful and just great for all ages. Most of all, it's fun because you're having to solve little puzzles, but they're not puzzles like the Professor Layton kind of thing. They're puzzles in the way that you need to navigate yourself around certain bad guys, and it's kind of a puzzle but a strategy game at the same time, and I really love that it's taken different kind of elements into it to actually make you finish this game. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, and Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Now, these two games, on paper, they sound really boring. Basically, you're a defendant lawyer and you're trying to defend the person who is currently on trial. All of these games revolve around different murders, and it is just so funny and so witty, and it's simple, but it works. It's one of those games that, as I said, sounds boring, but when you play it, it's just absolutely amazing. You have to search for clues in the crime scenes, and you need to magnify things and get people's fingerprints, and then you have to actually defend your client. And I just think it's taking something completely boring like jury service and like adding so much fun and adventure and just wit onto it. Some of the things that are said in these games are so hilarious that it's just untrue, and some of the characters are so vibrant and wonderful, and I just love this series of games. I think they're fantastic. Final Fantasy III, and in this box I've actually got a loose cartridge of Final Fantasy IV. I am a massive Final Fantasy fan, although I haven't finished any of the games apart from Final Fantasy XIII and Final Fantasy X. I'm one of those people that starts a game, doesn't go on it for 6 months, and then 6 months later I want to start up the game again and have to restart it because I can't remember where I am, and I like the idea of starting again from a blank slate, so that's the reason why I've only completed 2 of the Final Fantasy series. This is exactly the same kind of thing, but I love Final Fantasy. I think it's amazing. The characters, the character development, the stories, the adventure, the fighting, the magic, the strategy, just everything. It's just an all-round amazing role-playing game, and I love it. The animations are brilliant. The way that each game has a different kind of battle interface using magic and different types of magic, and the Aeons and GFs, and just everything. It's just an absolutely wonderful Final Fantasy world. Final Fantasy worlds are just absolutely amazing, and sometimes I wish that I could just live in them. Pokemon Soul Silver. I got this because Silver was the one that I mainly played on the Game Boy when I was younger, so I thought, you know what, may as well get Soul Silver when it comes out on the DS. And I think I specifically bought a DS just because of this game, because I really loved Pokemon when I was younger. I never finished it like the reason before, but I just love it. I think it's so good and so full of adventure. I mean, there's no characterization or anything like that, no real story. You're basically going around and catching them all, but it's just so addictive and I love it. More recently, I got Pokemon X, and for exactly the same reasons as the other one. The adventure, the Pokemon, just catching them all, and this is the first kind of newer Pokemon that I've actually bought. So when I was actually seeing some of the Pokemon that were actually available in this one, because the last one I played was Silver, there were a hell of a lot more Pokemon than last time, so it was actually fun playing this and actually meeting all of the different new Pokemon that there were and seeing them and seeing how stupid they look and their stupid names. But you know what? It's ridiculous, but it's absolutely fantastic and just really good. Last but not least, I got this for Christmas in 2013, and that is Animal Crossing. I am late to the game with Animal Crossing, but I got Animal Crossing New Leaf for the Nintendo 3DS, and it's so addictive. Seriously, nothing happens, but you just play for hours. Although, when you actually play for hours, the little characters that actually go around just kind of hint to you that you have been playing for hours, and I think that's so funny and so good that they actually do that. Because of the fact that you can only do a certain amount of things on there, you can only fish for a certain amount of things, you have to pick up litter and catch bugs and talk to people and give presents to people. I mean, there isn't really much that you can do, but it's one of those things that's so addictive and you just can't stop playing. So when the characters come up to you and say, "Oh, Katie, I've seen a lot of you recently," it's kind of a hint for you to get off the game and go into the real world, which for younger kids is actually a really good idea, because it tells them that they've been playing for too long and tells them to actually go out and enjoy life. But for me in my 20s, I don't know what that means to me now. I don't know. To be honest, it would probably be really depressing what it actually means, but whatever. YOLO. I did not just say YOLO. Have you got / played / completed any of the games that I've got? Because I think out of all of those, I haven't completed a single one. Go figure. I really need to work my way through some of my games and complete them. I will speak to you later. Bye!